Yeah, it's nice, but it just ain't augie enough.
Hello there, Sid here, welcome to the Drunken Orc. Now, some time ago I laid eyes on a Age of Sigmar model from Warhammer. It was the Gahadron Overlords Archanaut Ironclad, and I thought I've got to get one of them. So I saved me pennies and I rushed out and I picked one up. There it is. Although this is just an empty box, but look at it, isn't it beautiful? So I rushed home with it under my arm there, and I got home and I stuck it in a corner and forgot about it for about a year. But then it came back to my conscience. You must do something with it. And Wazbomb blaster jets are absolutely slightly less than mediocre at the minute. So you've got to make another one of them because you've already got one and you never feel that. So I thought, alright, I will. So I did. And this video looks at my orcifying of the Archanaut, making it into more of a Orcanaut. Yeah, you probably saw that one staggering towards you from over the hill. And normally in videos, I will take step-by-step photos or vids showing the process as I go through it. And in this video, it's very different. I haven't done that. And I'll tell you the reason why. I haven't done a video for a while where I've been making something. It's just been a bit tricky. So this was kind of like a passion project, if you like, because I'd wanted to do it for so long. I just thought, I'm just going to do it for me. And as I was building it, I thought, that's silly, let's make a vid anyway. So after I'd finished it, but before I've painted it, I'd done some little filming, little bits of filming. And I thought I'd put it together and show you now. So in this vid, a part one, if you like, is what I've done to build the model, any changes I've made to the original kit, and any extra bits I'm going to put on it. And then coming up soon, maybe next, who knows, there'll be a part two in which I'll show you the actual painting and the finished model. So I hope you enjoy it, and let's look at the build. Here is the main body of the ship. It's the Ironclad. As you can see, the shape of it hasn't really changed a great deal. I've put some armour plates on it, and I don't know if you'll be able to see these. Get the angle right. Maybe just there you can see the little rivets, just plastic putty rivets. Some of them I use larger rivets, they're from nail art sets, and some of them, like the dags up here, I used Meng rivets, or actually Meng nuts and bolts, but you know. I replaced the cannons with shooters, big shooter at the back, little shooter at the front. Also put on some cladding on the plank there, just to make it a little bit more orgy. And probably the biggest thing on the front, cut the dwarf face away and put a milliput orc face on. Now this looks rough as hell. I might do a little bit of filing on that. It doesn't look too bad with the naked eye, but this is a bit bigger. Like my hands aren't really this big. So I think I might need to just tidy it up a bit. But then again, you know, maybe I won't. Round to the other side again, you can see the shooters have been replaced. And some more armour plates. One on the back tail there as well. Yeah. Oh aye, the big gun at the front has been replaced with the Smasher gun, as befits the Wazbomb, and there is a gun shield to go over there as well. I did do a couple of changes inside the ship. I don't know if you'll be able to see this, if I'll actually get it to focus, but there was a little furnace with a dwarf face on it, so I just added jaw plate of that to make it look a bit more orky. There's some fuel cans, well, little fuel cans there, and here is a little drum. Now that was put there because the bloke who's steering it, the little grot steering it, has got a club, and that's used to bang the drum to help beat out a rhythm for the oars, which there are none. But he's got a drum, right?
It's just a tube of plastic rod, angle cut so it slips in, and the animal skin. See if I can get a better shot. There we go. The animal skin was actually a Savage Orc shield, or a Savage Auric shield, which I trimmed the wood away from and left just the skin, and then filed the little glyph thing off the front. So yeah, other than that, pretty basic, pretty easy. Nothing much out of the ordinary there. I think it looks quite cool anyway, to be fair. Things like this little vent that was stuck on, I'll just rotate it that way, it's easier. As with those exhausts. I thought about replacing all the bombs on the side with maybe some larger bombs, which, I don't know, maybe I should have done. I'm not sure if they would look better or not. It didn't make a great deal of sense, to be fair. You wouldn't want to drop a bomb that size when you're only that far off the ground, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's the main body of the ship. And the blimp bit, let's move that to the side, is thus. Now I've done a little bit more on this to make it more orky. You notice straight away I've put a jaw plate on it. This is a jaw plate off the Forge World Squiggoth. I've stuck that to the front, just pinned it in place because it was, as you can see, it's a little bit stretched out. But I've also put some checker plate in there and a pile of shells, because this is going to house a little Grot Sniper. Sticking on the main body, I added this plastic tube which was off the back of a big bomb from the flyer kit, just to make it more like a turret, because I don't know what the hell this thing's meant to be in the first place. It looks like a bloody lounge chair or something. And then I stuck a hatch on, a little bit of plastic tube back as a hinge, and there's some little gubbins in there which is just a handle. And there's going to be a mech sticking out here with a shock attack gun. On the fin, added some glyph plates and dags, and put a few extra exhausts on it as well, just from the Warzbomb kit. Leading up from there, 3 go in there and a 3 go out there, and that's just, I think that was the back piece of the smasher gun that I cut off, and I don't know what that is. I think it's a machine gun off a toon tank. That is just 41 gun like to use, so I stuck it on as like a little antenna thing. On the back here I've got a bit of a Killer Khan Scorcher and something off something else, not sure. A couple of green stuff cables leading to the KMBs, one each side, which are just kill cannons. And I chopped the big block off the bottom of the kill cannon, and they fit nicely to these wings, which were just the sections of wing that I didn't use from the flyer kit. Trimmed to size. Dead easy. Stuck them underneath, a few blobs of sprue goo just to help, you know, secure the join, and a few rockets underneath as well, just for extra threat. The kill cannons, they're actually upside down, so I had to cut the barrel off, the end of the barrel anyway, and rotate it 180 degrees, stick it back on, boom. And that's that. Now I can't really show you what this looks like on the flyer. Well, I can, but looks like that. Isn't it great? I suppose if I do it like that, you get an idea. I'll take a better picture so I can show you. So that is the Warzbomb. And to be honest with you, I quite like this. Just on its own, it's a little fighter. Before I stuck these supports on, little fucking weird Starbug motherfucker. Anyway, yeah. So that's the blimp bit, and that's the ship. Unfortunately, as you can probably see, it's looking a little bit Marie Celeste here, isn't it? Where's the crew? Well, here's the crew. So here's the first crew member. This is the one who's going to be steering it. As you see, he's got a club. As I said, told you I wasn't lying. Bang a drum. and his other hand, I had to change the arm slightly, reposition it. If you see shiny bits, it's generally because I've been at it with sprue glue to try and fill gaps or cover ugly joins. You can see I've had to change his arm angle slightly, and his hand looks a bit big because it's an orc hand. I'll get round that. But I was going to say painted as a glove. Quickly checks for fingernails. Yeah, I'll be alright with that. Not be able to see it anyway, it's pointing down. So yeah, that'll be painted as a glove, and that goes in a little cutout section on the ship wheel. So he is the pilot. Mentioned the sniper grot. There we go. Standard grot from the grot box kit, but I stuck a scope on his rifle. You have a little play around with that. You can line it up with his eye pretty well. And a little barrel extension as well if he's going to be sniping. And he fits nicely up there, just to pick out choice targets with his enhanced grot blaster. Strength 3, no AP, yeah. This fella, again straight from the box, but again I had to cut his arm slightly just to reposition it, and that hand leaning forward sits nicely on the handle of the smasher gun. It's also got foot plates that his feet fit on, although his bum does not reach the seat. And obviously you've got to wave your sword in the air, haven't you? If you can't operate heavy artillery without waving a sword in the air, what are you doing? Got this little fella, it was from the Stone Boys kit, and I've used a fantasy goblin head because he appears to be screaming in terror more. And I've replaced his, I think it was a stick bomb, was it? I can't remember. I've cut him a little spanner out of plastic card. He's going to be hanging somewhere on the top. Couple of nobblers here from the Buccaneers kit. A bit smaller than grots, but they look grotty enough, and they look quite sort of, you know, piratical, so they'll fit in nicely. Not even sure where these two fellas are going yet. This lad, who is just from the Rucker Truck Squig buggy, he's got a bet squig. He's also got a normal grot head, just because I wanted a grot head that was smiling, and that's as close to a sinister grin as you're going to get. Now, the reason he's smiling and his squig looks like he's trying to attack someone is because of this fella. This fella is one of the grots from the Old World Goblin kit. Now what I've had to do here is I've angled the right hand forward, or right arm forward, so he's pointing his spear, and the left arm took a lot of cutting, repositioning, removing of bits of chin, lots of worky bits basically to get him to hold that spear pointed forward. And the reason why he's pointing it forward is because of this gate. Ah, don't push me off. It's another tortured guardsman. If you can't figure out whereabouts they're going, you got no chance. He's actually on the plank. So you didn't know. He's on the plank. He's pushing them off, and he's just watching, going ha ha ha, funny funny. Just one of the little stories that I wanted to put on it. Little things that are going on. Points of interest. And finally, I've got this for. This is a 3D print mini. I have had zero use for them, but I've always thought, oh, that's quite good. I might use them for something. And yeah, he's just going to be hanging off underneath somewhere whilst doing some painting. I'm sure I'll end up putting all of these on. Some of them might not make the cut. I've also got some gubbins that still need to go on the ship. This thing, which is for you know, measuring and measuring proportion. I don't know what it's for. It looks cool, so it'll go on. This thing, I say this thing, it's obviously an anchor. That's not how anchors work, but you know, it's an anchor. Some shooters, because you've got to have spare shooters lying about. That's the gun shield. Stuck a few dags on it. Also got some cables. And for navigation, a sextant, telescope and searchlight all in one. Take 3 nautical devices into the shower. Not me. Yeah, so that's pretty cool as well. 3 more crew members left. We're into the Oaks. So there's an Oak mech who's basically going to be stood with the Sextant telescope light. Telesex light, maybe. Just a standard mech model really. Give him the wrench, give him a different arm repositioned hand, so that's resting on the Sextant, and because I didn't put his backpack on, where the tubes go up, I attached him to a little shuttered searchlight. And give him a commando head as well, because that's fun. We've got the mech in the top turret, there he is, freebooter mech. So he's got the mech Wazbom pilot head, although I've cut the top off, added a freebooter hat and then put some of the little gubbins on top of his head back on. He's got a hand saying, "This way, chop chop," and that's about the angle he'll be at. He's on a bit of a lean. And as you can probably see, in his right hand, he has a shock attack gun. Although I didn't have a shock attack gun, so I cobbled one together from an old heavy boulder. So, heavy bolter with a drum magazine from the flash kits, I believe. That is off the Warbike kit. It's one of the bits on the back that feeds the ammo to the shooters. Little thing on the back there, no idea. That's off a KMB. That is the hopper for the Grot Blaster. Or this one is full of snots. I mean, if they won't focus. If I can keep them still. Which isn't easy when they're on a stick. Bloody hellfire. Anyway, here you go, Believers, it's full of snotlings. Easier to see once it's finished. There we go, and the front bit, the whirly bit, is off a thing. Mech gun kit, there we go. And I put some bits on his back, some gubbins on his back as well. Little explosion box. And a pipe. And a shoulder pad. Tied a god awful join. Yeah, so a mech with shock attack gun. And finally, just someone to sit up front. An Orky pirate. Basically, his right arm. Mold line, spotted it. That will be removed. He's just resting that on the ledge of the gun turret. Whilst he smokes his cigar. He's got a couple of pistols on his belt. And yeah, that's it really. He was a pair of knob legs. The body I used off the biker with the sleeveless waistcoat jackety thing. Freebooter head. Now the body at that point looked a little bit small, especially since I was using knob arms as well. So I kept the belt from the I kept the belt thing off the knob legs and put that in there. There's a bit of a gap before the body starts, but there would be if you think about it. So yeah, I think he passes. He's a hunched up old bugger anyway. He looks quite grizzled. So that's the crew.
So that's the build. As you can see, it's not painted, and it was quite tricky getting the whole model in shot because, you know, it's quite tall. And another thing I've done is I've sacked off the flying stand. Now I've got the box here again, and as you can see, the flying stand here. I mean, that anchor hasn't got a drop far to ank, I think is the verb. So I've basically got round that by buying basically it's a normal flying stand for a Wazbom blaster jet. So this base ends up about here. It really does fly. The whole thing's very tall. It's very modelling for Disadvantage, I believe, because you can see it. You can see it from space. It's like, oh god, look at that big boat, right? So yeah, I've done that anyway, which you'll see. I'll show you in the next video. And I was a little bit worried when building it that I was getting to the stage where I thought, especially with the lower piece of the boat, well, this is all I need to do. This is all I can do. I'm running out of space to do anything else, particularly Yorkie, and it doesn't look too dissimilar to what it was at the start. A couple of armor plates for patching up bits of armor, change the main gun, change the shooters. Yeah. So that's where the crew came in. There's a lot of crew members on it. It's really quite cluttered with crew, which is good. I like that sort of thing. If you see me Mega Grot tanks or even me Giga Grot tank, you'll know I like a bit of additional character stuck on with crew members and what have you. But anyway, that was the build of my Orkanaut Ironclad Wazbom Blaster Zeppelin. I just made that off the top of my head. I don't know if it's going to stick. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Give the bell a little tickle. Don't you miss part 2, because that's going to be painting, and hopefully it'll pull it all together and bring it all to life. Anyway, thanks for watching. Until next time, take care. And I really liked it. I thought, I've got to get myself one of them. Oh, there's me alarm going off for match of the day. Fuck that. I love a flying ship. I don't know if it was Teddy Ruxpin who done it first for us. Not literally, I mean like he had a Zeppelin. It was either Teddy Ruxpin or Nazis who had flying. God fucking save them.